HVB here, and I got a rocket in my pocket ready to bust out, because today in video 3A we're going to talk about busting tanks in the IL-2 1941-42 series using the ROFS 132 rockets. Now you have a choice between the 132s and the ROS 82s, but the 82s have the same problem the Axis rockets have. They just don't pack enough punch to guarantee a one-shot kill. Sometimes they work on the lighter tanks, sometimes they don't, and not so much at all on the mid-sized to heavy models. Provided you hit the sides or the back, the 132s are guaranteed a one-shot kill on these Axis tanks. Against Panthers and Tigers, you need a turret hit to knock it out. A whole hit won't necessarily do the trick. And the Mighty Ferdinand is an enigma for me, because sometimes I can take it out with 2 rocket hits, but sometimes I've put 6 into it and it's still standing. So there is likely a kill sweet spot, I just haven't figured out where it is yet. If you prefer to drop FAB 100 bombs, the ROFS 132 loadout will reduce that bomb load compared to other options, but to me it's worth it by far. And if you've developed a skill to put down FAB 50 bombs accurately, you don't have to give up anything to take the bigger rockets. Now the attack angle approach I use for rockets is very shallow, around 7 to 12 degrees, and I find this approach much easier than making steeper dives, because you don't have to climb much at all as you extend out and make your turnarounds. You can keep your altitude under 100 meters the whole time, which makes for a faster and easier to manage aircraft. And for me, a flatter sight picture angle just makes it easier to get a hit. For shooting rockets, I always use full zoom, and I shoot them as singles to give myself as many kill opportunities as possible. For point blank range, the sight picture alignment at the moment I hit the button looks like this. This offset crosshair is resting at the center of the tank. Notice that the vertical line is splitting the tank in half and the horizontal line is at the top of the tank. To achieve this sight picture, first I give myself plenty of horizontal separation so I can pick a tank and get lined up smoothly. Now a full-on broadside approach is great. A rear oblique approach is fine. The approach you don't want is a front oblique, because if the rocket hits the front armor, there's a very good chance it will survive the impact. Now starting out, I determine which side the next rocket's coming from, left or right, and then I do what I call framing the tank. Notice how this vertical line is on the side of the tank and this horizontal line is at the base of the tracks. For the smaller Panzer III, I will offset that vertical line slightly outwards, but the horizontal line placement remains the same. As I get closer, I keep it framed in this way, and you can see this offset crosshair is slowly creeping toward the center of the tank. The final thing I'm looking at right before the offset crosshair splits the middle is this horizontal line in relation to the top of the tank. There's a difference between a 7-degree and a 12-degree approach angle, so I may adjust that line up or down just a tad depending on my nose angle. Now let's watch a practical application of the point blank technique. Let's hit one of those heavies. Hit that, is that a Tiger? First rocket on the left side. Nice broadside angle. You notice I'm barely climbing at all. The ground elevation on this map is actually almost 300 meters, so I don't even think we're 100 right now. Notice how I'm giving myself a lot of time to extend out, get plenty of horizontal separation. Hit that Panther that's facing the wrong way, because that's how much attention to detail I put into these practice missions. A little bit high, get that back down. Panzer 38T Elephant, we'll try this one here. Panzer III. Left side rocket. It's going to offset a little bit more to the right because it's a small target. Tiger. Right side rocket. That's a bad angle. It's exactly what you don't want to line up on because too much frontal armor in the picture. So we'll hit the Sturmgeschütz here. These things are tricky because they're really low profile. It's easy to sail one over the top of them. But not that time. I'm not going to crank over too far to the right because that's what put me in that bad position pass before last. Still kind of an oblique angle here, not the best. Okay, here's a nice kind of a rear oblique angle. Now, much like the shallow angle attack dive technique with bombs, the point blank rocket technique only works against tanks in the open. In videos 3, B, and C, we're going to cover situations where the targets are more difficult. So thanks for watching. Peace out.